Clovehitch is a subtle thriller in every sense of the word.
Well, this is the story of a 16-year-old Boy Scout who begins to suspect that his dad might be a serial killer. I wanted the movie to create a feeling of fear and dread, but not do it in conventional ways. And then the score, I think, is the one element of the movie that feels like more classic, like old school. Horror, especially, is a genre that's suited towards minimalism. When you have scary things going on without scary music, I think it makes it more scary. So I think in this we were able to find that good balance.
A lot of the process was pulling it back. Less notes, less melody. And it kind of made me look for the joy and the juice in other areas. If it can't be melodic, and what are those ways I can find the magic? I think that using strings is a very effective way to squeeze a lot of emotion out of very simple music.
Yeah.
Just a few notes. And you can have pulses and pulls, and your heart can race and then it can break. With the power of a few string players just doing a nice crescendo.
Totally. I think the main question was, how do we make this feel tense without making it feel familiar?
Any trope or convention you hit on, people's ears are automatically, that's that. I feel this. This is the time I remember feeling like this. And it's too easy to give that to them. Working with someone like Duncan, he will push you to places you wouldn't normally go, and that sounds not fun, and in the moment it's kind of not fun, but looking back on it, it's like, oh, I'm glad I was pushed there, that was great.
Matt is like me as a director in that he's got a wide range. And this one, I think we, both went out into unexplored territory. So I really appreciate his willingness to experiment and explore, and his innate sense of emotional resonance.
For me it was, okay, we're not having a lot of notes. How do you make those notes tense? So let's have the people play straight tone on the strings instead of vibrato. So you can have these beautiful chords, these rich augmented chords or just straight up minor chords. But with each of those couple notes having just a bit of tension in them, and you have something that's simultaneously evocative and beautiful, but a bit tense and a bit on the edge.
Pianissimo, high register, no vibrato, really creates a tension in the music itself, but also for the player. Like when you play the music, you get this sense of fear, because it's very scary to play this kind of passage,
And it sounded really thin in the moment, and it sounded a little bit like the tuning was maybe questionable. But then when I heard it in the film, it sounded really good. I don't know if you auto-tuned us.
No, I didn't actually.
Years and years of our training kind of come down to this moment. Can we work together in an ensemble in the purest form of the idea? This specific score was really about the purity of the sound.
On paper, this music doesn't look like much. When you put it in front of musicians, it's like, are they gonna dig this? Are they just going to write it off because the music looks like not that much is going on? I think once people wrap their head around, oh, that's where the challenge is, it became fun for them, and it became even more fun for me.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff, those are the subtleties that I'm not necessarily as well cued into. So that's where it's really good to be working with a composer.
Where are we going?
Almost there, bud.
Musically, there are just these little phrases that kind of keep going.
Right.
And amplifying and echoing.
Right, and that fits into this theme of there's something that you know deep down to be true, but you want so badly for it not to be true. And I think that's what the music captures. The piece over the credits, I just said do something that's beautiful and sad, and Matt produced this amazing piano piece.
It's such a complete piece. It's like, it has everything, because it's incredibly satisfactory, but it's incredibly difficult to jerk, but in a good way. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's not about one person, it's really about making art together and being as honest and relaxed as possible.
Duncan is a director of few words, but they're pointed words. It's like, here's a few points, here's a few emotions, here's a few dots on the board. Here, you find the red string and how to connect them.
Matt is my favorite composer to work with. I just love his enthusiasm, and I love his willingness to try different things. The music is much better than I could have asked for. There's been so many movies made, and you think you just can't do anything new with it, but
Just keep digging.
you can, yeah.